This is the Purple and Gold Hour, presented by the University of North Alabama Foundation. Your spotlight on the University of North Alabama, featuring conversations with UNA officials and friends of the university. This is your look inside campus. Now your host, the voice of the Lions, Benjamin Ray.
Hello and welcome into another week of the Purple and Gold Hour, presented by the University of North Alabama Foundation. I'm Benjamin Ray, and this is your spotlight and inside look at the University of North Alabama. We return home on this football Saturday, and what a Saturday it is. It's preview day, it's parents' weekend, campus is full and buzzing. People want to see what it's all about here on the fastest growing university in the state of Alabama. It's a jam-packed show as well. We're going inside the Office of Student Affairs. Vice President Dr. Kimberly Greenway joins us. She's a graduate of the University of North Alabama. We have UNA royalty, the homecoming queen, Shanice Allen, will chat with us as well. And let me tell you something about Shanice. She's from Birmingham, Alabama, attended Spain Park High School, and she is a rock star. She's one of the most involved students here at UNA, and you'll get to hear all about her UNA journey. Anna Gail Milwee joins us as well, the Assistant Director of Compliance and Student Athlete Welfare here at the University of North Alabama. UNA had Civic Engagement Day last Tuesday. It was Purple Swarm Tuesday as well. She'll talk about academics at UNA and how student athletes are getting out and getting involved in the community. And oh yeah, she's a UNA graduate as well. Then finally, we'll wrap up the show with our head soccer coach, Chris Walker. He'll recap year 4. And wouldn't you know it, UNA Soccer has completed their 4 years of the Division I transition. Next year will be their first full year as a Division I program. We'll chat with Coach Walker about how prepared his program is to make the jump. So we have a lot to dive into. I'm Benjamin Ray. We'll jump into it next. This is the Purple and Gold Hour, presented by the University of North Alabama Foundation.
My whole life has been about making an impact. Not just on the field, but in the world around me. My high school Spanish teacher helped me find my true calling to educate and serve others all over the world. I used to think the biggest college was the best place to start, but my search brought me to North Alabama. At UNA, my story matters, and so does my calling.
I knew I wanted to do engineering from Best Robotics that I was in high school. I kind of learned what engineering had to offer, and I knew I was good at problem solving and things like that, good at math and science and stuff. I came to UNA and figured out what it was, what it had to offer. After learning about the program, it was exactly what I wanted to do. This program really prepares you to go into the industry, and it is preparing me for exactly the types of jobs I want to do. The community here is definitely different than other programs. I can call up really any of my professors or email them or just step in their office and knock on the door, and they're always available. And it's really more conducive for learning than other programs where you're in a huge class or something like that.
I really had some aspirations that maybe they'd go to school here as well, because we're both alumni. We're just thrilled to see all 3 of our boys in school here.
A view of UNA that I've run into a lot is people say it's just, it's your own backyard, or, it's a little hometown school or something like that. But every school is in somebody's backyard, and there are people that go here and get the exact same internships and the same opportunities, and if not more opportunities, because we're a local school. And it was just something that I knew it was a great fit for me.
We kick off the Purple and Gold Hour, presented by the University of North Alabama Foundation. This is your spotlight and inside look at the University of North Alabama. I'm Benjamin Ray, back with you. Just 2 more football games remain. It's hard to believe we're already in November. We've had a busy week. Basketball all throughout the week, 3 basketball games. Now here we are on preview day. Campus has come to life. Visitors, parents, prospective students. It's a great time to be here at the University of North Alabama. With that, we welcome in the Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Kimberly Greenway. Dr. Greenway, thank you so much for joining us on the Purple and Gold Hour.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
I just mentioned that today's preview day. I know they're expecting, 1,500 to 2,000 students, prospective students attending today. What's it like for you to see campus just come to life with so many guest visitors and hopefully people that will come to UNA next year?
Wow, I'm not even sure I can express the excitement that we're feeling right now, especially after the last 19, 20 months of having COVID and being restricted on how our gatherings are, and being having the availability now to have everybody together and just celebrating our university, celebrating just our students in general, and the visitors being able to come in, and it just always hypes the situation up for us to be able to have a great crowd.
Preview day is one of my favorite days, football games, because of the big crowds that we do get. Now, we got a lot to jump into with you, but I want to start your UNA story. I know your connection to UNA runs deep. Tell us about UNA and your background with the university.
Yeah, I came to UNA as an undergraduate student, actually a re-entering student. So I had gone to college on a scholarship prior to being at UNA, and was injured in a very severe car accident and was being what I affectionately refer to as ignorant and 18. I thought the only reason I was in college was to play ball, so I quit college, and then about 6 years later decided to come back, and UNA was attractive to me at that time. So I came back as that re-entering student and just immersed myself in the undergraduate experience, and just it was the best decision I ever made. So many opportunities here.
And then what led you down this path towards student affairs?
Yeah, so as I got involved in the student experience here at UNA, being involved in student organizations, in the leadership training and development, being involved in our university program council, and even in my academic area, being involved in a club that was related to my major, all of those things just really led me down the path of realizing there's a career in this. So after my undergraduate experience, UNA actually offered me a graduate assistantship. And so I worked for the university while they paid for my master's degree, and I started out in intramural sports and recreation, which was a part of student activities at the time. And so just really became more and more involved in the field, had the opportunity through getting my master's degree to learn more about the field, to really understand the difference that we can make in students' lives, and I decided to make that my career path.
Now, how special is it for you that your career path in student engagement has brought you back to UNA where you're over student engagement?
Yeah, so student affairs is just such a versatile field. And when I had the opportunity to come back as the vice president for student affairs, I can't even express it. I was so surprised, honestly. I'd been working after my retirement for a consulting company, remaining in higher education, focusing my career still on how to develop students and consulting regarding student success at other universities. So when I was able to come back to UNA and given the opportunity to implement some of the things I even learned after I retired, it was just a real honor. And then being able to also be here during a pandemic, which none of us really expected, but being able to help with a team of people lead us through that and still be able to provide the student experience that honestly wasn't being provided on a lot of campuses when we first came back that first fall. So it's been a tremendous honor. It's just another example of how UNA offers people opportunity.
You know, there's been a lot of news coming out about UNA's record enrollment, 11 straight terms of enrollment, looking at over 8,800 students this semester. And the trend in the state has been a decline in attendance. And you just mentioned COVID and what the last 19 months have been like. How hard has your department, your area work to keep students engaged and wanting to stay here at UNA?
You know, students have wanted to be engaged from the very beginning. We've actually had to try to restrict that and limit it to keep our community safe. So we knew early on, our Student Government Association put out a survey to students and said, when we return in the fall, would you like to have a campus-based experience? And overwhelmingly, our students said that they did want to come back. And so we wanted to offer that opportunity. We felt like we could offer a safe environment, even safer than what some of them were experiencing off campus before they came back. And so it's been a real challenge. It's been a lot of hard work. Many of my staff are still dealing with the effects of COVID, and we're still responding in many ways, even though the caseload is different than it was at the beginning. But it's been, again, a tremendous opportunity. It's been an exhausting and yet exhilarating experience to see our students be able to come back. And I've been very proud of our whole UNA community and how they followed the guidance. Our students have just said, we want to be back and we'll do whatever it takes to be back. And I can't say how proud I am of our student body and our employees for that as well.
So now you graduated from UNA. We talk a lot about the growth of the university. And we love to ask people what makes this place so special to them, but not just for you, from your perspective. How does it all come back full circle, seeing the growth from when you were in school to now being a part of growing this university?
You know, this university has changed so much since I first came here. Even the physical landscape continues to grow. The offerings in our academic community are just tremendous. We serve a campus-based student population and yet an online student population at all levels. We're recognized as a workforce development university in our state, so we're able to offer working adults more options than we ever have been able to. We have like more study abroad, more study away, so students get opportunities to do things that maybe we couldn't even afford in the day to offer, and now we do. The university, as lean as we are as an institution regarding funding, we still put our money where our mouth is, and students are always the center of our decisions, and that we have a more diverse population, and so we're thinking about how to serve all those diverse populations differently and better. And just the growth, the enrollment now is double what it was when I came here as a student. So seeing that growth, seeing students that come back for homecoming and for other events, and just seeing and hearing their stories about how UNA impacted who they are as individuals today is just tremendous.
It truly is. Now, staying on the growth, take us back to when you were a student to today. What have been some of the biggest areas of growth that you've seen that have excited you the most?
I think the programmatic offerings have really expanded, even up to offering doctoral programs now. So in the academic arena, I think we have a great enrollment plan to serve students that are diverse. So that's been one of the biggest changes as well. Access for students that didn't always have access to college is now more available. And so those are some of the things that I think I'm the most excited about, is that we in student affairs, and I think as the university in general, as we grow, we get to serve students daily. We get to make an impact in students' lives every single day. And I think we have become a more research-based institution. And by that, I don't just mean that we're doing research. I mean that our work is based on research and best practice. And so in student affairs, for instance, we do student needs surveys, and we address outcomes and assessments, that learning outcomes that we want our students to do. So a lot of times people look at student affairs as just the fun part of the university, and I think what I've really seen grow over the years at UNA in student affairs is that all of our programs and services are based on what we know will help students grow and develop and learn the things that you should be learning when you're in college, even outside the classroom.
That segues great into my next question. I wanted to just ask you, student affairs, and you just kind of said this, people think just the fun stuff. What's the first thing we need to know about what student affairs covers?
Yeah, so the first thing I would say is that over 60%, research-based, over 60% of learning at colleges and universities takes place outside the classroom. So collaboration is what student affairs is about. So we want to collaborate with what's going on in the academic arena and in our diversity areas across all of our divisions to do things together that would meet the students where they are, their life experience. The research shows that if we can connect what we're doing to their life experience, they'll have that aha moment. So student affairs is really designed to align students' life experiences where the co-curricular experience helps them to connect what they're doing in the classroom, what they're learning outside the classroom, so that when they leave the university, they're more prepared for their jobs, they're more prepared to deal with family life issues. So it's really about the being of a person. Some of the outcomes that we think come from student affairs are things like independent thinking and judgment and integrity and respect for others in differences. So we really focus on the things that students need to learn about becoming a person, not just what they're learning in the classroom. And that's what our work is really about.
We're chatting with Dr. Kimberly Greenway, the Vice President of Student Affairs here at the University of North Alabama on the Purple and Gold Hour. All right, let's shift to maybe some of the fun things that you referenced. I mean, what blows me away is I look at UNA, there's something for everyone. Whatever your interest is, you can find something to be a part of extracurricular. I mean, how can prospective students find out about a lot of the great offerings that UNA has?
Yeah, so I think the way you can find out what some of the offerings are in regard to programs, just kind of the fun stuff that leads to growth and development even, is on our student engagement website. So we have an Office of Student Engagement, and they do things like our alternative breaks, our civic engagement, our volunteerism. Our Miss UNA competition is coming up on November 19th. And people look at some of those things and go, why would you have a competition with women? And we go, scholarships. So the competition for Miss UNA is where young women get to come together and display their skills, and they get to, they're offered scholarship dollars if they win those competitions. And so that's coming up, as I said, on November 19th. We also have Parents Weekend coming up. And all of our recognized student organizations can set up and introduce themselves and what they do to families and prospective students. So those are some of the examples. We have a lot of leadership development that we do, but there's over 100 student organizations available that are recognized on our campus, and that's everything from related and aligning with academic majors to fraternity and sorority life, to academic honor societies, to just fun, engaging experiences that students can get together around a particular topic. So lots to do here at UNA, that's for sure.
Now, I hear you talk to SOAR students at the Welcome Center. We're about to have Shanice Allen on, a student here at UNA who I'm interested to learn about what all she does because it sounds like she's super involved. But you always have a message to students about getting out and getting involved, not just in your classroom, but in the UNA community. Why is that so important?
You know, again, I'll go back to the research. All the literature indicates that students who are more engaged and stay on campus more, they'll graduate at higher rates. They make higher salaries when they leave the university. So there's a lot of research that says the more you engage in the campus experience, the better your life experience could be. And so I would say for an incoming student, for instance, they have the opportunity through our orientation program to get connected. We even have overnight programs so they can pick roommates. They can get involved in one of the over 100 organizations that we have. They can get involved in service. They can get involved in volunteerism, even in our local community. And so I would say that the experience that you have on campus, again, brings you back around to being who you are as a person. And I would say that UNA has offered students more opportunities. We hear from other university students that our engagement programs are more verbose than many of others that are even a larger size than us. So a new student has any opportunity that they want, and I just really think the importance of them engaging when they get here is can't be overstressed.
A couple of things in closing for you. I love to ask this question, too, just to hear different stories, different thoughts. What's your favorite thing about campus and working here day to day?
I would say the fact that we know we get to change lives every day. So I look out the window and I see groups of students and how they're interacting with one another, and I know that our work impacts where they will end up. It impacts where they are now and who they're growing into. So I think the students themselves are my favorite part about the campus, just to watch them come in as kind of little high school graduates and growing into the adults that will have an impact for our future generations.
Now, here's what I have for you in close. It's the end of the semester, a few weeks, exams will start, and then graduation. You're a commencement speaker this semester in December. Have you thought about your speech, and what does it feel like for you to be at the stage you graduated at, giving the commencement speech to our next group of graduates?
Well, you know, what it feels like to me is just a tremendous honor. It really does. I love this institution. I've given over half my life to work here. And I have loved every minute of it. It was hard for me to decide to retire the first time, and this opportunity coming back, it was just a tremendous experience. So the honor that I get to stand up in front of students and give them kind of some inspiring words to go out on is pretty exciting to me. I have not yet put my thoughts together because my role is very demanding. And I honestly do things as quickly as I can, but sometimes my days are so filled that I don't get to prepare as long out as I'd like to on those kinds of things. But I feel real good about it, very excited about having the honor to do so.
It'll be a great speech. I know it. Dr. Greenway, thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you.
That's Dr. Kimberly Greenway, Vice President of Student Affairs here at the University of North Alabama. We'll take another time out. The Purple and Gold Hour presented by the University of North Alabama Foundation rolls on when we return.
I realized that there was a lot of just business, just the day-to-day business of the chamber that I did not feel particularly comfortable in. There was an opportunity at UNA to pursue my MBA and thought that it might be a really good idea just to bolster that side of my education. Professors were so understanding and willing to work with us. I realized then I had made the right choice, that UNA was the correct institution for me. I've never talked to anyone who's gone forward with their education who regretted that decision. It's not been easy every day, but totally worth it at all times.
My whole life has been about making an impact. Not just on the field, but in the world around me. My high school Spanish teacher helped me find my true calling to educate and serve others all over the world. I used to think the biggest college was the best place to start, but my search brought me to North Alabama. At UNA, my story matters, and so does my calling.
With UNA being student-oriented, I know I will get smaller classes. The teachers are very dedicated in helping me understand the material. I feel like they really care that I succeed. If you're hesitant about whether you should or shouldn't get your master's, but you know that you want or need to, you should just do it, because you don't know where it's going to take you, and you don't know until you get on that path.
I'm Benjamin Ray, welcoming you back into the Purple and Gold Hour presented by the University of North Alabama Foundation. This is your spotlight and inside look at the University of North Alabama. It's our final football home Saturday. Kennesaw State comes to town. Here in just a little bit, Seth Kane and Jacob Tucker will get you primed for kick. We got the triple option attack, one of the top 10 teams in the Big South Conference. Coming into Brawley Stadium, should be a great afternoon of football. Of course, it's preview day. We're expecting a packed-out crowd, tons of visitors and guests here on campus. So with that, we're taking you inside of the Office of Student Affairs, and we actually have our first UNA student joining us here on the Purple and Gold Hour. She's UNA royalty. More on that in just a moment. Shanice Allen, thanks for joining us here on the Purple and Gold Hour.
Thank you all for having me.
All right, so UNA royalty. You were named UNA Homecoming Queen about a month ago on October. All right, you heard your name called. I know you had a lot of butterflies. What was that feeling like?
Yes, I was so nervous leading up to that whole point, and when I heard them say my name, like, it was shocked. Like, I didn't know. I was like, wait, they really said my name? And there's a picture of me, and, like, my mouth is open, and then my friend is sitting next to me, like, just excited as I was. And it's just really great, like a great honor, and just knowing that, you know, my peers thought I was worthy of being homecoming queen.
Now, did you notice the crowd's eruption from the student section when they called your name?
Honestly, I feel like I toned everything out because I was just like over so many emotions that I don't think, like, I heard them, but then it was just kind of like a lot going on at once.
Do you ever just wear the crown around campus or anything like that, wear it to class?
Oh, no, but I wish. I should, maybe.
And, of course, you'll have the honor of coming back next year for homecoming as well, so that's a big deal. Now, congratulations on that. That's great. Now, we love to hear UNA stories from everybody that comes on, and from my understanding, UNA wasn't necessarily on your radar to come to school until late. Tell us your UNA story and how you arrived on campus.
Yeah, so the only school that I had applied to was Jacksonville State, and when I went to that campus, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best, I guess. But when I came to UNA's campus, I immediately knew that this is where I was supposed to be. The campus just seemed to have a bright light shining on it, and everyone that I met was just super friendly. Didn't meet anyone that wasn't friendly at all. But it was just great. And so my brother's friend actually encouraged me to just come and visit UNA. He actually graduated from here, and so I came, and I just loved it, and it has a great education program as well, so I knew that I wanted to major in that.
Now, you're from Birmingham. You went to Spain Park High School, a Jaguar. How has UNA made you feel like you're at home when you're from about 2.5 hours away?
Yes, honestly, the people here have made me feel like it's home away from home, I describe it. And it's just the people here are always friendly, like I said, and just having those, like, professors that are always caring for you, and, like, mentors here that I've formed relationships with that are always checking in and making sure I'm okay.
Elementary education major. Now, we've chatted with the people from the College of Education and Human Sciences. From your perspective, what makes that program so great?
It's great because they give you so many opportunities to get out into the schools and get that experience and skills of being, like, you know, working at a school and teaching small little workshops and clinicals to students there. And it's just a great experience just being able to go. We actually get to go to Kilby Laboratory School, which is right across the street from us. And so we get to go over there and meet some of the professors' students, or, like, you know, children's as well. So, yeah.
Great hands-on experience. We love to talk growth with people. UNA continues to experience record enrollment. 11th straight term. We've had it. Over 8,800 students on campus. Still waiting on that final number here any day. But for you, from your freshman year until now, what's it been like for you to see the university just continue to grow in numbers?
It's amazing to just see a lot of people coming here from all over. I mean, we have a lot of international students that are coming here, and we also have, just people from Tennessee and like Alabama, like just coming here, and it's just great to see it keep growing.
All right, take us back. Your first day of college. So you go to preview day, you decide you're coming to UNA. What do you remember about stepping foot on campus that first day?
I remember I was so nervous. I remember the day before class started, I was like, okay, I need to go and make sure I know where my classes are. I can't be late. And I was just so nervous, but as soon as that first day hit, like, it was great just doing the Lucky Dip, which brought everyone together. And so, like, getting to see my friends that I formed during SOAR, it was a great day, actually, like, when it ended. But the very beginning of the day, I was very, very nervous.
Now, listeners may hear the Lucky Dip. What is that? You didn't go jump in the Tennessee River. Tell us about the Lucky Dip.
Yeah, so the Lucky Dip is something that happens on the first day of school every year. And it's just a way for everybody to come together and, you dip your pencil in there, wishing you good luck throughout the entire year.
And you've certainly had great luck here at UNA. All right, we've talked about traditions. We've talked about why you chose UNA. We're focusing today in this episode on student affairs. Now, you're super involved on campus. So first of all, tell us all the great things that you're a part of.
Yeah, so I'm involved in a lot. So I am currently the president for Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I am also the president for Diversity Student Ambassadors, and I'm a mentor currently for the College of Education and Human Sciences Ambassadors Program, and I'm also in the Honors College.
How do you balance all of that? That's amazing.
I kind of ask myself the same question. I feel like I do a lot, but honestly, I would just say managing my time is how I get to do it all, and just keeping a planner near me so I don't miss any meetings and I know where to go when I need to go.
So we've talked about all the great student offerings. How did you find the areas like that interest you that you've gotten involved in?
Yeah, so before, I even stepped foot on campus during SOAR, like, we had an RSO fair, and like I had already done like research of like organizations that I wanted to join. So during that RSO fair, like, I went to the tables to get more information, how I can join. And that's how I really just found the places that I wanted to like be involved in. And then I just did it.
And how have those areas of involvement impacted you today as you get set to graduate next semester?
Yeah, so they have definitely given me like leadership skills, like being able to lead others, being able to work with others, and also like just being able to speak, which I feel like is a very big part, especially in my major. So I feel like it's definitely have given me all of those skills and just confidence.
Talking with UNA senior from Birmingham, Alabama, Spain Park High School graduate. She's UNA's homecoming queen, Shanice Allen. All right, so UNA events. There's a lot of great things for students. What are some of your favorite events every year on campus?
Okay, so one of my favorite events is the silent disco. I feel like it's just so much fun to just come with your friends, put on headphone sets, and you can change your channel if you want to listen to country or R&B, or you want to listen to rap. So it's really fun, just, everyone dancing, and, you take them off and it's silent, and it's just cool to see everyone just dancing around to their own, like, genre of music that they enjoy. I also enjoy doing the Miss UNA pageant. I actually got to do that my sophomore year, and I actually was awarded with Miss Congeniality. So that was very nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And another event I would say is, well, I guess it wasn't necessarily an event, but I got to do something called Alternative Breaks. And so I got to go to Tahlequah, Oklahoma my freshman year, and it was so rewarding just being able to give back to the community. We worked in Head Start schools, and we did yard work around the schools as well.
Man, it just continues to impress me, all the great things you're doing. You keep dropping just wow things that you've done on campus. Okay, so today is preview day. We've got anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000. I may be undercutting us. It could be even more than that here in attendance today. Previewing campus, taking campus tours, finding out a little bit more about UNA. What advice would you give those students as they're sort of looking at UNA, ways that they can find out more?
Yeah, so I would say, of course, visit the website and see what major interests you if you don't know, what you want to go into. But I would also say, like, don't limit yourself on schools. I mean, apply to all that interests you. You may just be surprised at, like, what all may comes about it. And then I would also say that, jump out of your comfort zone. You don't want to stay in your comfort zone because you're not going to grow. And stepping out of that comfort zone, you'll be surprised at like how much you'll grow. And just get involved when you get here. I mean, you'll be surprised at like how many friendships, lifelong connections you'll make, and the opportunities that will come your way.
Let's talk about getting involved just a little more. And Dr. Greenway was just on, and she was talking about the statistics from getting involved on campus. Why would you continue to encourage students to not just go to class, but to get involved on campus?
Yes, I feel like just being able to get involved on campus also brings those friendships. So, and it keeps you from just staying in your dorm and, only focusing on work, which, of course, academics is great. But, like, also you need to have that time of, like, doing something that you also love and getting out, meeting people, and taking leadership positions and learning new skills.
Let's give some advice to maybe some high school seniors getting set to come to college next year. Hopefully they're coming to UNA. If you could go back in time and tell your young self, hey, you're about to come to UNA, here's what you need to know, what advice would you give yourself?
I would give myself advice to probably just, that's hard. I don't know. That's so much. But my advice to myself, I got involved, and so, continue to get involved and, take those things that may make you nervous, just take it head on and do it.
You're set to graduate in May. Just how memorable has your time at UNA been?
It's been great. It's definitely a lot of memories that I will cherish forever and a lot of friendships that I will love. So.
Super involved on campus. She's UNA homecoming queen, Miss Shanice Allen. Thanks so much for chatting with us.
Yes, thank you all.
You're listening to the Purple and Gold Hour presented by the University of North Alabama Foundation. We'll be back after this break.
My whole life has been about making an impact. Not just on the field, but in the world around me. My high school Spanish teacher helped me find my true calling to educate and serve others all over the world. I used to think the biggest college was the best place to start, but my search brought me to North Alabama. At UNA, my story matters, and so does my calling.
I realized that there was a lot of just business, just the day-to-day business of the chamber that I did not feel particularly comfortable in. There was an opportunity at UNA to pursue my MBA and thought that it might be a really good idea just to bolster that side of my education. Professors were so understanding and willing to work with us. I realized then I had made the right choice, that UNA was the correct institution for me. I've never talked to anyone who's gone forward with their education who regretted that decision. It's not been easy every day, but totally worth it at all times.
I've always had an affinity for medicine and taking care of people. I love taking care of kids. Doctors don't really get that personal connection with patients that a nurse would. And that's what I like the most, and that's what I want to provide for other people. I'm majoring in nursing. Specifically, I want to go into pediatrics. My professors here in the College of Nursing are the most amazing professors I've ever had. They actually care about their students. They have all these resources and all these ways of helping. UNA just really goes the extra mile to help students get to where they want to be in life.
Welcome back into the Purple and Gold Hour presented by the University of North Alabama Foundation. Your spotlight and inside look at the University of North Alabama here on our final home football Saturday, a regular season home finale. Just 2 football games remaining. We're getting closer to kick, about an hour and a half or so. North Alabama will host Kennesaw State, the number 5 ranked team in the nation. Seth Kane and Jacob Tucker will get you primed for kick on the Countdown to Kickoff show. Kickoff coming up at about 2:05 p.m. Central Standard Time. So now we jump back into some athletic conversations. We welcome in Anna Gail Milwee, the Assistant Director of Compliance and Student Athlete Welfare. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, but Anna, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you're a UNA grad. We like to ask people about their UNA stories, and you have a unique UNA story. So tell our listeners out there a little bit about how you came to UNA first as a student and what UNA means to your family.
Honestly, my senior year, I wasn't sure where I was going. I was looking all over the map before I learned about out-of-state tuition and how that's a little bit expensive. And I couldn't decide what truly where I wanted to go. And honestly, it came from my brother AJ was in the Harlan Hill finalist, and that December we were there for that ceremony. And I was talking to Tank Allen Arrington, AJ, one of AJ's coaches and a good family friend of ours, and he said, why don't you just come? You could work in the athletic department. It would be great. We could find something. And I think that's what got my wheels turning, is that I could stay in the athletic realm without being an actual student athlete. And so I left that night, and I told my parents, I said, well, I think I'm going to apply for UNA. And they said, really, you are? Is that, what you want to do? And because for the longest, AJ being my best friend, but chasing, being after him, we have a very unique last name. There's not many of us. And so after that, I started working in the ticket office at UNA, and I did that all 4.5 years I was here, and just kind of fell in love. That's how I fell in love with college athletics. I truly didn't know that you could enjoy your job so much and be a part of athletics in a way, just a huge part of my family. And we love UNA. We truly, my parents, all of us, we bleed purple and gold, and love it so much. Just AJ's time here was very special for our family, being at every game, and then having the opportunity to come here and receive an education. And I'm grateful to be back and working at my alma mater, and just being a part of it. It's just really special.
I wanted to talk about that with you. So AJ Milwies, your big brother, he's one of the all-time greats to play football at UNA. I mean, he's up there with some of those big names. He had a great run when he was the starting quarterback. Now you're here at UNA working as we've made this transition to the world of Division I. Have you thought about how special it is to be just associated with so many great moments in UNA athletics history?
Oh, for sure. I go back to the years of AJ playing and how they made it to the semifinals, and just being a part of those special moments, when his teammates get inducted to the Hall of Fame, just, introducing myself. And, I was that little girl that was just a fan, and being a part of that. And then I just remember being a student here and being a part of the GSC championships and just the conversation of Division I. I'll never forget the survey that went out, asking the students if that would be a move they would want to make. And so just seeing that come full circle is really special, and I think it just continues to put UNA on the map and show people how special it is here. But there's so many great moments, and again, full circle of watching now student athletes that I get to work with and watching them be successful on their playing surface, but also in the classroom.
So you work here at UNA now. You work in the compliance office. You do a lot with academics, student-athlete welfare as well. And we had a big event last Tuesday. It was the NCAA Civic Engagement Day. You did a lot planning our athletic Civic Day, if you will. But tell us a little bit about Civic Day and how it came to be across the nation with NCAA athletics.
So it came across, it's actually been a year exactly that the D1 SAC Student Athlete Advisory Committee decided for this day to be, there can be no practice, no weights, anything like that. Last year it gave the opportunity for student athletes to, stop what they were doing and go vote. So that was the big piece of that. And then also education and just educating on voting and educating on how to be a good citizen, and whether that's in the city that their college is in or going home and being good citizens there. So that was voted on, and then it's carried on. They kept saying, the 1-year anniversary of it. So I think it's just a great opportunity to not only give them that opportunity to go vote, because being a student athlete, you have a busy schedule. And so I think it's a great opportunity for that. But also we just took it a step further this year, and being in our community and figuring out ways, how can we help our community? Because we get a lot from the UNA community in Florence and the Shoals, and it was really cool to be able to organize that and see the needs and make those connections.
Let's talk about some of the service projects that were completed. How many organizations did the athletic department partner with?
We had 18 total projects that we you say project, we had some that were projects, and then we also went out into the schools, elementary schools, and YMCA, and so some of those organizations, we were part of 18 organizations that day.
It's very impressive. There's some great stories from some of the schools as well of some of our student athletes interacting with young children. It's a great different side to see from our student athletes. We see them on the playing field, and then they get to go out making impacts on lives of children like that.
Yeah, they love going to schools. That is the biggest thing that I hear. We have a program called the Line Buddy program where we go to Harlan, and they just go hang out with kids that day. And so they have a student that they hang out with, if that's at lunch or at PE. And but that's what I always get asked about is how can we go to a school. They go to Kilby frequently, but we try to hit a lot of elementary schools, and because they've never met a college football player or college student athlete before, and so they just think that's really great. And it's cool to watch soccer go into the schools because they've never heard those accents before. So that was some of the stories I heard. I know Coach Chris Walker, when he was like, are you from England? He said yes, and she was just amazed, So I just think it's cool they can be those mentors and they can be those role models, and it's not just from the outside looking in. We actually go in there and we're a part of it. So,
what were some of the other high points of the Civic Engagement Day?
I will give a shout out to United Way. They really helped us get some of these projects together, so we are actually able to go to United Way. And our baseball team, they painted. They just moved into a new office, so they were able to paint some of their offices. Meals on Wheels, we were involved there. I think a big project that I didn't realize all the work that went into it is the Florence Rotary, the Star Playground at McFarland Park. Our cross-country team was out there scraping and getting all that playground ready so they can start construction. And so it's like I told each and every single one of them, you are a part of this. You're a part of something that's happening. And so, whether it takes a year or a year and a half, you look back and you're part of something special. So
it was definitely a large undertaking. And it wasn't just Civic Engagement Day. It was also Purple Swarm. The administrative staff went out to downtown Florence. We passed out some pennants, some window clings as well. You'll probably see those in just about every downtown business. That was also your brainchild. Where did the inspiration for that come from?
So, Dr. Looney and I were talking, and I think the big thing about community is you want to ensure when someone comes to Florence that they know that UNA is here, and that we are a Division I institution. And so we just wanted to show love to the people downtown, and we're going to continue to do that across Florence, but make sure that they have an updated logo, and make sure they have purple and gold, and show them support because they show us that support. So kind of the Purple Swarm, we were trying to figure out what to call it, and I remember when AJ was here, they did something like a swarm type thing, and so I was like, well, let's just bring that back, and we're just going to paint the town, purple and gold, and just kind of show some love, but also just show people that there is a university here, and there's an athletic department here, and we want their support, but we also want to support them.
Talking with Anna Gail Milwee, the Assistant Director of Compliance and Student Athlete Welfare for the University of North Alabama Athletic Department. All right, let's talk academics, and we see some of the highest GPAs come out semester after semester. I mean, from the compliance office side, does it put a smile on y'all's face seeing our student athletes excel so much in the classroom?
100%. When Dr. Looney came in, we were going through GPAs and looking at 2017, the overall cumulative was a 308, and this past year we had a 323. I think that speaks volumes about our student athletes and how hard they are working in the classroom, and they do want to do their best. They do want to get a degree. They want to be successful while they're here and once they leave. So it's really cool to be a part of that and just see them work so hard. And, you see student athletes who they're the first person in their family to receive a degree, and so it's really special to be a part of both sides of their life, the on the field and then in the classroom. So it's we're very excited. We just hope that number continues to climb.
I enjoy seeing how hard our student athletes work, both on the playing fields and in the classroom. And I want to talk about KJ Smith with you, a two-time Academic All-America selection. He came to UNA in 2018. We didn't know how many years we'd have him, and now he's getting a second master's degree. I don't even know what all he's doing now, but he's a two-time Academic All-America pick, and that's big because only a handful of student athletes have ever done that at UNA. We've had some greats over the years, and he has a chance to become the school's first ever three-time Academic All-America pick. So just from your eyes, how big of a deal and how hard does KJ work in the classroom?
Honestly, KJ Smith, it used to surprise me, but he does not surprise me anymore because I just always know that he's working hard. I never have to question that. I always check in on him, but the thing about KJ is he is very humble about it, and I just, I brag on him a whole lot to a lot of people. Having a 4.0 through your undergrad and currently still a 4.0 through his graduate classes, it's just incredible to me. His future plans are to go to PT school, and so not only that, he's in this community service that we're talking about. He's in the classrooms. He's been a mentor. He spoke to students at Ellie Wilson, some sixth graders, and talked about his whole career and how he's gotten to where he is. And he just works so hard. And so every time I get to call him, or usually he'll FaceTime me, and I'll be like, okay, well, you got another one. And he's like, really? And I'm like, I don't know why you're surprised. I'm not surprised anymore. You shouldn't be. But I just, his parents have done a great job too. When I talk to his mom and if I get to share any information with her, she's like, really? And I'm like, you just do a great job. And he's very disciplined about his studies and just wants to ensure that he's doing what he's supposed to in the classroom and on the field.
All right, I got two more things for you. We're going to take our athletic hats off, and we're focusing on student affairs today. We had a student, Shanice Allen, on, who's one of the most involved students I've ever met. Dr. Kimberly Greenway joined us, the Vice President of Student Affairs here at UNA. You're a UNA grad, and you were super involved on campus as well. Today's preview day. What would you say to incoming freshmen about why they should get involved in campus and do more than just go to class?
To me, it changes everything. You as a student come in and you determine what your experience is going to be like. So if you want it to be great and you want it to be special, the more involved you can get, the better it is. Just making those connections with people. You just never know, who you're going to see later on in life and how they can help you or how they've affected you in a positive way. So just being involved, whether that's attending games or SGA, the Student Alumni Association, whatever it is, just get involved and jump in and meet new people. And those people, my best friends came out of UNA. And so I just think it's the best experience you can have is the more that you do.
And you're also super involved in the National Alumni Association. You're the staff advisor for the executive board. What made you want to get involved with the Alumni Association in that capacity?
I think just the biggest part of it coming back to UNA, and just I am so passionate about UNA. I try to carry it everywhere I go. And so just learned through Bishop Alexander about the Alumni Association and just kind of jumped in. And it's not even about, I share athletics with them, and I want people to support athletics, but I want people to support this university. And it's given me so much, so I feel like I owe it everything.
Well, Anna Gail Milwee, it's been great chatting with you. Thanks for joining us here on the Purple and Gold Hour.
Thank you, Ben.
That's Anna Gail Milwee, the Assistant Director of Compliance and Student Athlete Welfare for the University of North Alabama Athletic Department. We'll take another timeout, one more segment to come. This is the Purple and Gold Hour, presented by the University of North Alabama Foundation.
I knew I wanted to do engineering from Best Robotics that I was in high school. I kind of learned what engineering had to offer, and I knew I was good at problem solving and things like that, good at math and science and stuff. I came to UNA and figured out what it was, what it had to offer. After learning about the program, it was exactly what I wanted to do. This program really prepares you to go into the industry, and it is preparing me for exactly the types of jobs I want to do. The community here is definitely different than other programs. I can call up really any of my professors or email them or just step in their office and knock on the door, and they're always available. And it's really more conducive for learning than other programs where you're in a huge class or something like that.
I really had some aspirations that maybe they'd go to school here as well, because we're both alumni. We're just thrilled to see all three of our boys in school here.
A view of UNA that I've run into a lot is people say it's just, it's your own backyard, or, it's a little hometown school or something like that. But every school is in somebody's backyard, and there are people that go here and get the exact same internships and the same opportunities, and if not more opportunities, because we're a local school. And it was just something that I knew was a great fit for me.
I realized that there was a lot of just business, just the day-to-day business of the chamber that I did not feel particularly comfortable in. There was an opportunity at UNA to pursue my MBA, and thought that it might be a really good idea just to bolster that side of my education. Professors were so understanding and willing to work with us. I realized then I had made the right choice, that UNA was the correct institution for me. I've never talked to anyone who's gone forward with their education who regretted that decision. It's not been easy every day, but totally worth it at all times.
Welcome back into the Purple and Gold Hour, brought to you by the University of North Alabama Foundation. This is your spotlight, an inside look at the University of North Alabama. Talking some UNA soccer now with head soccer coach Chris Walker. It's our final interview of this episode. UNA is hosting Kennesaw State in football. Don't forget, coming up next, we have the Countdown to Kickoff show. Seth Kane and Jacob Tucker will join you from Brawley State and get you set for kick. North Alabama and Kennesaw State, the number 5 ranked team in the nation. It's senior day, the final home football game. One more game after this football season coming to a close. And Coach Walker, we appreciate you joining us yet again. Season comes to a close, the 4th year of the Division I transition, a 2-13-3 record. You guys played some super tight ball games, but just your final takeaways as we close the chapter on this season.
Yeah, the record isn't exactly where we wanted it to be, but we played some really close games and a tough schedule as well. So it's exciting in one way to get to the end of that 4-year transition period, and hopefully everything goes well, administratively and all that kind of stuff. So this is our last one. But it's nice to now get into our first off season and get after it a little bit. But now we know where we stand in the ASUN, what to expect, and then moving forward, obviously we just carry on trying to build and get ready for next year.
You guys were the first program to play a Division I event. Now you're the first program to complete your 4 years. How excited are you to get to year 5 next year, which is essentially year 1 again?
Yeah, no, it's always been, we've used it throughout this transition of setting records, whether it be goals scored in a year or clean sheets or getting that first win or first ASUN win and getting to the ASUN final. So it is nice next year going into it and being a fully fledged Division I program moving forward. So it's a lot to move forward, and obviously recruiting wise it's helpful knowing that if at all possible we can win the ASUN and then get into that first round of the national tournament. It's just a big boost, and knowing we've been there, everything we've gone through, all the hard work on and off the field to get to this point, and we keep rolling forward now.
Take us back to year 1. You guys make the ASUN tournament championship that year. Year 2, you bring in a great freshman class. Year 3 was the COVID year. Year 4 this year. But just how far has this program come? How much change have you seen in the last 4 years?
No, it's been fantastic. I mean, just gaining all the experience of moving from that Division II level where we knew exactly what we were going to get every year to now playing at the Division I level to where it's every game is a really tough game, and we'd like to set our non-conference schedule that kind of mirrors the ASUN schedule, which is never easy, but it's just neat to go and play at all these different places and play against some of the top competition level in the country. So I think it's been a great move for us. We're really excited about moving forward and what we can do moving forward in this off-season to prepare for next year.
Let's talk about the off-season, and you've mentioned it to me before, but the majority of these players have never had an off-season before. I think just a handful of seniors, Kate Weissman, Grace Linsing, some of them, Morgan Ebert, they've been through the full off-season, but everybody else arrived in 2019. You played that season, then COVID hit 2020, canceled your spring season. They didn't get a real fall that year. They played last spring, no off-season this year, right into the fall. Does it feel like you guys are finally returning to some sense of normalcy?
Yeah, it's been weird. Like we're joking as a coaching staff, like Tom did last fall at his previous school, he did last spring with us, he did this fall with us, so he's had 3 seasons in a row. So some of the girls haven't had a spring season to use that time to develop and work on things, and it'll be hugely beneficial, I think, to especially our freshman and sophomore class that came in to just get in the weight room, to build that extra strength and conditioning, just to make everyone quicker, stronger, faster, and to develop and grow as a team. So I think moving forward this spring and the end of this fall, the last couple of weeks is going to be huge for us, and then it gives us the majority of our team returning for next year, which is nice to see. And then we'll add a couple of pieces with signing day just gone, and moving forward adding a couple of more players, but it's exciting for the future.
And how big is it for these players to get to mentally reset, coming from the unknown now into the known?
Yeah, no, it will. Hopefully we can have somewhat of a normal Thanksgiving, Christmas, and people can see their family and, get back here in January and get ready to get after it. We'll play a 5-date spring. Schedule's still to be figured out and finalised on that side of it, but it'll be exciting just to get back into some normalcy and just to get a normal spring under our belts. Then summer rolls around, you can choose to play summer ball if you want to, or work on the summer fitness side of stuff and just have a little bit of a break, and then it builds that fire back up inside, ready for next fall to roll back around and get after it again.
6 seniors on this year's team. Only one went through senior day, Megan Jones. So it looks like all 5 seniors are returning. I mean, Kate Weissman, Charlotte Kellett, Grace Linsing, they've played a lot of minutes for you. Morgan Ebert, she didn't come off the field this year. How big is it having that group come back for an extra year?
Yeah, it's going to be huge. I mean, that's we sat down when that extra COVID year came out. And Megan, it hit her time to graduate and move on to school after this. And then it's exciting with the older ones. We kind of worked it out with them. Some of them are going to do grad school, some of them extra semester for us. And in soccer playing in the fall, it made it a little bit easier for us. So the experience that we've got in our what will be redshirt seniors class now is exciting moving forward. That's the core of that leadership group. So we're excited to power through this spring with that group. And hopefully some of the younger ones can learn from there, leading by example. And, we'll all grow together.
You have a goalkeeper in Peyton Yates that led the conference in saves this year. How big it will be for her to get a full off season in the weight room like we've been talking about?
Yeah, no, it'd be great. And like I said, Peyton, fantastic for her to get in the weight room. And again, just for the younger ones, it's just that the mentality of knowing what college is about, working that team bonding through the spring. There's some days that's tough. There's some days where it's 6:30 in the morning, and you just work together, and the camaraderie it builds. And then obviously during the spring we play games, and it's about getting players some development and working on little things we can work on going into next year. So it's going to be huge.
Have you noticed a difference just in recruitment as you head into the 4th and final year, now gearing up for year 1?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, obviously, with that being that fully fledged Division 1 school now, and everyone, we're no longer, that's that D2 team transferring in. So we've made the transition. We're a Division 1 school now, and we're using it recruiting-wise. It's been great. We're all over the place, back to normal recruiting. So it's going to be good for us, and we'll look to bring in a solid class this year and, move forward from there.
As we gear up for next season, have you been talking with the team much about how, hey, you guys could be the first to potentially make it to the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, it's obviously we started 4 years ago talking about being the first team to play Division 1, and everyone was like, oh, yeah, it's great. You can be the first team to win a Division 1 game. I was like, oh, yeah, you could also be the first team to lose a Division 1 game as well. But we were fortunate enough to get that one, and it's a nice little piece of history that us and the soccer team will have forever. So it would be nice. We managed to get all the way to the final our first year, and can we go that one step further? And obviously we're optimistic and wishful thinking, but we'll take it game by game and start working to progress this spring and set goals for ourselves next fall.
The transition comes to a close for UNA soccer. Hopefully you guys can get some more first next season. Coach Walker, thanks for chatting with us as always.
Thank you.
That's UNA head soccer coach Chris Walker. That will do it for this edition of the Purple and Gold Hour, brought to you by the University of North Alabama Foundation. Thanks to Dr. Kimberly Greenway, to Shanice Allen, to Anna Gail Milwee, and of course to Chris Walker for joining us. Coming up next, we'll head to Brawley Stadium. It's North Alabama and Kennesaw State. Coming up on the Countdown to Kickoff show. This is Benjamin Ray saying so long on the Purple and Gold Hour, presented by the University of North Alabama Foundation.
This has been the Purple and Gold Hour, presented by the University of North Alabama Foundation. Thanks for listening, and remember that you can catch the Purple and Gold Show 2 hours prior to every football game right here on 98.3 WLX, the home of the Lions. Roar Lions!